of our commissions when we look at diversity principles.
For the third time in as many years, stakeholders in the reform process converged in Nairobi to take stock of implementing the necessary reforms. Delays in meeting constitutional deadlines and persistent wrangles between the executive and other implementing agencies dominated the agenda, with proponents of the status quo in the executive and the National Assembly receiving the flack.
Constitutional provisions are there to be obeyed, and any public or state official who finds certain clauses administratively inconvenient must be reminded that the vacation of office is an honourable option.
I am deeply concerned that more than 3 years after the post-election violence, we have not made as much progress as is required. The continued presence of IDPs in our midst constitutes an open wound which leaders must heal.
The Chief Justice cited selective implementation of the Constitution by the executive as a major setback in the realization of benefits that Kenyans voted for during the historic referendum in August last year.
Kenya must comply with the whole Constitution all the time and in every office, from the tiniest hut to the State House, to the lowest hawker, no less than it will apply to the corporate titan, to the governor, no less than the governed.
The panel of eminent African persons that mediated a power-sharing deal between ODM and PNU after the contested 2007 presidential polls said focus should be on electoral reforms to avert a repeat of post-election skirmishes.
Aspiring politicians should therefore take heed that the usual way in which politics has been practiced in Kenya is no longer to be tolerated.
Involving women and youth in decision-making in all levels, it's not an option, it's an imperative.
We should look at the electoral process as just a game that you play, and in a game there must be a winner and there must be a loser. By losing today, that does not mean that you will not be a winner tomorrow.
But the date of next year's general election remains unclear, a situation that, according to stakeholders in the reform process, is causing anxiety among Kenyans, which is undesirable. The executive is pushing for a constitutional amendment to push the election date from August to December 2012.
What we read is that at the flimsiest of excuses, we are ready to amend. Why did we lose faith in the constitution we had? It had been amended so many times, it was hardly recognizable.
The conference continues tomorrow with discussion on electoral reforms top on the agenda. Francis Gashore, Citizen Live at 9.